What's poppin' with the squad? How y'all doing? How y'all living? It's your boy Amari, and we are back with another album review. And today, I just want to talk to y'all about Drake. Hashtag certified lover boy. Hashtag CLB. He dropped it. He dropped it. And it's time to talk about whether or not it lived up to the hype. Let's get it. One thing I do want to say though before I jump into this video is that I can already see and I already know that there's going to be a very, very big disconnect between, to be honest, pretty much all of Drake's fan base. There's going to be this disconnect where there are listeners like me who enjoyed a certain era of Drake, and once he exited that era, they felt that either he was no longer worth listening to, or they just found others to fill in that spot that they felt Drake filled at the time. But with all that being said, I kind of want to put that aside. This isn't coming from me as just a listener of this one project. This is coming from me as somebody who's been a Drake fan for a long time. And regardless of the things that I joked about and said about Drake to my friends, regardless of the things that I have said to myself after listening to some of his projects, I'm still a fan and I still think he's an incredible artist. Now, let's be honest. I am probably one of the people that from the beginning was saying that this album would not live up to the hype. From the jump, I was saying Drake, he's just going to hype it up so much that he's not actually going to be able to back it up. Especially with the way his career was going, I was not a fan of his current musical endeavors, should I say. Scorpion, probably one of my least favorite Drake projects. I was not feeling that at all. But with that being said, I really, really enjoyed this album. I think this album was fire. I think it was loaded full of hits, and quite honestly, I'm gonna be real, this is probably the most enjoyed Drake project that I've listened to since Nothing Was the Same. I think this album did so well, especially with listeners like me, because it was very reminiscent of that era of Drake from Thank Me Later and So Far Gone all the way to Nothing Was the Same. And then I feel like after that, he just started to switch. He started leaning more towards trap music. He started leaning more towards trap beats, featuring different artists, all that kind of stuff, which, like I said, I just was not a fan of. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that this is the most creative Drake album, this is groundbreaking, this, that, or the other, because quite frankly, it's not. But what it was to me was through and through, it was the Drake that I knew, the Drake that I grew up listening to, and honestly, I can't say anything other than I loved. Yes, there were some corny lines, there was, some of the production that we've heard before, nothing just mind-boggling new. The music that made Drake a household name, in my opinion, was pretty evident throughout this project. Right off the bat, let's start Champagne Poetry. Incredible. I enjoyed it. I think it brought the energy to the album very well. I think that it did what it was supposed to do as an intro track. It gave us an introduction to the album. It let us know which type of Drake we were going to get throughout the album. And honestly, as soon as I heard Drake deliver, as soon as I heard Drake start rapping on that track, I immediately knew which Drake I was getting, and I got even more excited. Production-wise, Drake really didn't rap over anything that we hadn't heard before. He didn't sing over anything that we hadn't heard before. I think the production was cool. I think it was nice, but like I said, it didn't pop out. There was nothing especially spectacular about it, but Drake did the damn thing nonetheless. With that being said, I do have to admit, though, one thing that I was really enjoying about the production was, like I said earlier, how reminiscent it was of the earlier Drake. This lo-fi, this just chill, laid back vibe That's what I love about Drake. That's the music that got me into Drake. We're talking literally the entirety of Take Care. We're talking So Far Gone. We're talking like just vibes like Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, or Crew Love, or just songs like that that were just an absolute vibe that people love to keep coming back to. I feel like a lot of that was present in this album and in this production, and I think that's honestly a lot of the reason why I myself found it very, very enjoyable. The feature list was crazy. It was absolutely ridiculous. We're talking Lil Baby, Lil Durk, we're talking Yebba, we're talking Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, we're talking Tim's, we're just the names that he got to feature on this album. We're talking Future, we're talking like, it's just mind-boggling, all of these heavyweights, all these established names, all of these great artists all on one project, and they all got their chance to shine, and they all shone very well. If I'm being 100% honest, I definitely think Yebba's track was my favorite. Yebba has an amazing voice, honestly one of the best vocalists that I have heard in a while. To be honest, she, as of right now, is a lock for what is my top 5 vocal performances of this year. But we'll talk about that in another video. The voice, the mood, the emotion, everything about that track, it felt right. It felt good. And to be honest, I think that along with Fair Trade are the 2 tracks that I keep going back to the most. For some reason, I feel Travis Scott fit right in on Fair Trade, and I think like that's just like that combination of Drake and Travis and how well it worked out is just mind-boggling that it hasn't been done as much as it should have before. I think Future on Way Too Sexy had one of my favorite Future verses. I can't do anything but admit that he slid on that beat and that he fit in really extremely well. Plus, we're talking about Drake and Future. What a time to be alive. What more can I say? Extremely notable, of course, was Wayne. Wayne definitely, in my opinion, taking the show on his track with Rick Ross and Drake. And to be honest, I had a very hard time distinguishing who is the better feature artist, Lil Baby or 21 Savage. But let's be real, this year especially, they have both shown up. They have both shown what they can do, how talented they are, and how they kill damn near every feature that they are put on. And to be honest, these guys just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. That's what it was. All of that being said, Drake is a special kind of artist. He's not just a rapper. He's not just a singer. He's not just a pop star. Drake has moved into GOAT territory, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that because this just pandered to my ear and what I enjoy from Drake, but I am looking at his career as a whole, even the albums and projects that I did not like. We're talking More Life, which is technically a playlist, but I really didn't enjoy that. Scorpion, I really didn't enjoy that. What a Time to Be Alive, there was some bangers on there, but I really did not enjoy that. Views from the Six, I can't say that I really enjoyed that. Like I said, I haven't really enjoyed through and through a Drake album since Nothing Was the Same. And I will die on this hill, Take Care is Drake's best album. Even then, I can say, over the course of his career, despite all the projects that I am not a fan of, Drake has managed to do something that very few artists truly can do, and that is captivate the world. We're not just talking, American, USA talent, UK talent, international, quote unquote. We're talking literally the world over. People like Michael Jackson, people like Beyonce, people like the Beatles, the Stones, people like BTS that have this grandiose stage and are literal household names. Regardless of whether you like them or hate them, they have become household names and have cemented themselves in music history. And I believe that is now Drake. The international market that he's touched, from literally making songs with Wizkid and Tim's and other artist of that such. Not even just that, just his ability to literally touch any genre of music and make it a hit instantly. Like, that's not something every artist can do. I'll save all that for a different video though. But I do feel like it needed to be said. Drake, in my opinion, has been cemented as one of those talents. And agree or disagree, Drake has put in the work and shown that he's capable, more than capable, of staying up there. Overall, I think I'd give this album a solid 8. And I say that because, like I said, even though production, there was nothing mind-boggling, nothing mind-blowing about it, even though he did have some corny lines and not all of the songs hit in the same way, I still think this is a very strong showing. I think Drake was in his bag, and I think that was very noticeable from the beginning. The comfortability sounded like it was there. The confidence, it sounded like it was there. Everything that Drake needed to deliver, I think, was there. The hits, they were there. The sing-along songs, they were there. The ones that you can't stop listening to, they were there. On top of that, I just can't really say that there were any songs that I disliked on this album. And that's crazy. An entire Drake album where I didn't have songs that I didn't like. That hasn't happened since Take Care. But nonetheless, that's just my opinion. That's how I feel. These are my thoughts. I would love to know yours, how you feel, what your thoughts are. And I will see y'all in the next album review. Hashtag CLB, 6 Gang, 6 God, Drake, GOAT. Let's get it. Peace.